Greetings, my dearest in the Lord. Our verse for today comes from the first book of Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 18. Now, be the first to come and do what the king commands, as all the Gentiles and the people of Judah and those that are left in Jerusalem have done. Then you and your sons will be numbered among the friends of the king, and you and your sons will be honored with silver and gold and many gifts. Dearest in the Lord, for some time now we have been reading this narration about King Antiochus Epiphanes and his attempt to centralize worship and the traditions in his kingdom. And this affects also the people of Israel. But we have seen also so many examples of men and women of the Jewish people who have stood their ground against the command of the king that contradicts what they believe in and their faith. Today, our verse is part of the encounter between Mattathias and the officers of the king. And you see, the officers presented Mattathias as the elder of the people. And they believe that if the people should see him doing what other nations, including some people from Judea and Jerusalem, that his own people, that is the people of Mattathias, will now follow him to obey the king and go against their faith. But Mattathias stood his ground. Even the promise they made that if Mattathias should do this, obeying the king and disobeying or going against the law given to them and eating a forbidden meat, then he will be rewarded, he and his sons. But if we read down, we see that Mattathias said, "It is not good that I obey the king and disobey my God." Dearest, this is sharp contradiction to what we have in our societies, where elders go against the tradition, go against the truth, go against the law in order to gain something from those who are making such proposals. Our society is filled with elders, but few are those who are pinnacles of truth, who are epitomes that should be emulated by the young ones. Are you easily enticed by gifts presented to you in order to go against what you believe? Are you easily bought by gifts from people for you to deny what is truth? Do you easily change your way, change your life, change your belief, change what you know to be the truth because of what has been presented to you? This is concrete example of what happens in Nigerian politics. Someone will know what is truth, but because of what he stands to gain, the material things he stands to gain, he and his generations, he abandoned millions of people suffering because of lack of truth, and faced and embraced and begins to defend falsehood. Mattathias stood his ground. He knew that he stood for many people and many people were looking at him. Not minding what he stood to gain, he chose to stand by the truth. He chose to embrace the law. He chose to embrace the love of God. What about you? What entices you? Do you choose God over material things or material gains over God? May God help us that we will always stand our ground, not minding what we stand to lose or to gain, but always to go for the truth. Amen.